Got it. All right. And let's see here. Should be popping up in a second. All right, there we are. All right. Let's see here. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Debbie and I are going to go over 5 ways to find your real estate niche, or is it niche?
Niche.
Niche? Niche, that niche.
Any of the above.
Any
It's
of the
5
above.
ways to figure out how to be creative in real estate. How about that?
We could do that. So let me share my screen. Here we go. Share there and play. There we are. All right. So the first one of the year, 2023, and we're going to give you some ideas on how to find your niche specialty, your something that's more of a specialty. Do you think that's kind of what I would say?
Yeah.
Your specialty of what things are best, you're better at, you're concentrating on. So we'll jump right into it so we don't keep you too long today. So Deb, I'll let you take the first slide. You go ahead.
So this is something that may or may not help you, but you're just trying to figure out a way to be unique in the business so that you can say, well, I specialize with seniors, which I'm jumping way ahead and stuff, but to try and figure out different things that are going on in the business and creating your knowledge base. You can rely on the National Association of Realtors. Every year they put out what's called a profile for home buyers and sellers. They do have 22 out already because I looked at it yesterday, and it tells you everything about what buyers and sellers did in 2022. So you have the Real Skinny from the National Association of Realtors. You can download this for free. Being a realtor, if you're with Homestar, you are a realtor, so you can download this for free on your National Association of Realtors website. If you've never gone there and looked up the different things that they have available to you agents, there's a wealth of information on there. Sometimes you have to pay for it, and a lot of stuff is free. So use it because it gives you a lot of information. Now, the stuff on the NAR is going to be national. So you also want to make sure that you're looking at your local statistics as well. But this gives you a nice round picture of what's happening in the United States as far as what real estate's going on with.
And the great thing is there not anytime you see any news, when I see any news, they say they always like to exaggerate, like this is a huge new thing, new technology, new demographic, new thing. There's lots of new things happening, but bottom line, there's always people buying or selling.
Mm-hmm.
That's always there. The majority of the business of real estate is always going to be all different buyers buying, sellers selling, but there's seniors, like the jumping demographics of senior moves, and first-time home buyers is always ups and downs. It's all by area. Like example, if someone wants to certain cities, someone like, hey, I want to, some people think, oh, there's more and more renters. Well, in certain areas, because if someone says I want to live in a certain city in Ohio, there might not be very many rentals out there, so you have to buy, and vice versa. There might be cities and areas that have a lot of, so again, just like Debbie said, just there's going to be generalities of things, but it's good to at least see and be knowledgeable about that. And is the website still on realtor.org? I haven't been on there myself in a while, but we'll have to look that up exactly. I think it's still realtor.org, not realtor.com. Realtor.com is not for realtors, that's the search for homes, but realtor.org was
O-R-G.
what was the website for that. 2, go ahead.
Okay, so this is going along with what we were just talking about, the demographics and stuff. So find your fire. What are you passionate about? What do you like? What do you love about real estate, and what do you think you want to focus on? I'm going to use one of our agents. I know she watches these. I'm not going to say her name, but she is a younger gal, but she really loves antiques and old things and stuff like that. And last year we were talking about finding her niche, because she like, I just want to find something that's specialty and stuff like that. So she actually went and got the senior representative designation. That's her fire. And she is so excited about it because she wants to work with elderly people. Even though she's a younger gal, she's like, I have an old soul and I just feel like I connect with them better. There's nothing wrong with that. Just because that's not what you are doesn't mean that you don't love working with those people. So look at yourself. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week too. But look at
Exactly.
yourself and figure out what you're passionate about and see if that works for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just actually just did my daily video, and the seven the formula for success and 7 steps. And one of those parts of the formula is you have to, what's your why, what's your passion?
Yeah,
Like, just like you said, if you want to handle like senior, just that's one example. Unless you're passionate about helping seniors, that's not going to help you.
right.
Some agents like, I want to try to get new construction, but unless you're passionate about building, and not you personally, but going through the steps and helping people build houses and things like that, I've had agents over there, it's like, I want to get into new construction, then find out it's like, wow, this is a lot more work.
Yes, it's a ton more work. You have to
Exactly.
know
Like,
a lot
yeah,
more
that's a lot
things.
more work, and I don't get paid for like a year. I'd
Right.
rather start showing people houses that are already built, and that. So number 3, go ahead, Deb.
Zeroing on a specific demographical area, right? Neighborhood, subdivision, city, county. Maybe there is a whole bunch of townhomes that are going up in a specific area, uh, and you want to be a part of that. There's nothing wrong with that. See if you can get a hold of those people and find out what's going on. Over on certain parts of the city, downtown Cleveland, they're totally gentrifying everything, and everything is being raised, and they're making new buildings, and everything's beautiful. And of course, when it's brand new and it's beautiful, the prices are higher too, right? So it makes it more beneficial for us to try and do things like that. So find out what's going on in different areas. Maybe you want to be specific to that. Maybe you're a country girl and you just want to stay in the country. There's nothing wrong with that, but promote yourself as a country agent, because some people will be like, oh, they see the city of Solon on our business cards and think that you don't know anything about Geauga County, where I live, for instance. So uh, figure out, and this goes back to you too, in your passion. What interests you? One thing I can tell agents that are working with Century 21 Homestar is that if you do figure this out, you can make a specialty page on your website for searches that just show that. And if you want to know how to do that, give me a call. We'll schedule some time. It
And
really sets you out away from everyone else, because they can click on one little button that says Solon, for instance, and find out all the houses that are for sale in Solon.
I really think that the top 2 things I tell agents to get involved in is, one, obviously building your database, people people that might just know your name through anybody, people you've done business with, people went to school with, all that. And then keep on growing, and then people that know the people that that connect you. And then the second thing, when I tell agents to do, is go a geographic area, a neighborhood, a city, and be an expert in that area, and have your name and face all over, get to know the businesses, get to know the area, get involved in community events. So that's number 2. Outside of people knowing you, or knowing someone that referred you, or know someone like your cousin Joe sent you a referral of someone he knows, then that connects you. So the more people you connect with, so next, connect to an area or a community and be involved. That's a specialty. You know what, you always know what's in the neighborhood. They always see your name when it's any types of advertisements, and or city newsletters, or neighborhood newsletters, or events, and having booths. Be And even by county, I know there's agents that do the county fair. If there's booths available, they're always at the county fair. They're always
Yep.
different things. So again, that's a specialty.
Town council
Yeah,
meetings and stuff like that.
exactly.
If you live there, you can go to the town council meeting and introduce yourself as a real estate agent. I know someone who does that all the time and she gets business from it.
Yeah, and I
So,
know agents that go when if they're little league or baseball teams or sports or have advertisements or newsletters or anything, get involved, find out anywhere we could advertise. So they'll see your name. So if you have kids, they always see when there's lots of families and they always have kids and they have school stuff. Maybe there's get involved in helping. Example, I know there's agents that help out at the sporting events because they're volunteers and things. People see you, and I don't think I know there's realtors that don't have. They go and volunteer and they have their badge on because they don't uniform. They're volunteers, so they always have your badge on of what you do or wear a coat that says Century 21 on it or something. So, all
yeah,
right, next slide,
conversation
Deb.
starters are a
Yeah.
must. Absolutely. Identifying with your ideal client. Maybe you only want to work with sellers. Of course, you may eventually, when you first start out from school, not know where you want to go. So you're going to work with everyone that you possibly can to see what pulls you the most. I prefer sellers over buyers, although I do like taking buyers out when they're a first home buyer because I love the joy of getting somebody into their new house, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm only going to work with them, but you can. If that's what your thing is, you only want to work with first time home buyers, then be that your thing. That doesn't mean that you can't work with someone else just because you say this is my specialty. You can work with whoever you want. But it's all about if you figure out that you want to work with just first time home buyers, then learn as much as you can about that topic, right? If you feel that you want to be a luxury home agent, we have a luxury team here at Homestar, and that's what their specialty is. But that doesn't mean that they don't go sell that $150,000 house, because they do. But they have learned and taken the time to learn and expand everything about it so that they can help that luxury buyer or seller when they're trying to move and stuff. There's a lot more that goes involved with certain things. Commercial, you should have additional education for that. Luxury, you should have additional education for that. If you want to be a certified buyer's representative, they have designations for that. You go to the class, you learn everything they can, you pay them the fee, you get the designation, and sometimes they give you lead sources.
Yeah,
Military designation will give you lead sources for any veterans that are looking to buy or sell a home.
there's actually official designations, that realtor designations that in their classes that you could take on realtor.org. Go on there, the certified residential specialists, first time home buyers, seniors, all that. There's different ones that are actually realtor based. And then we have designations through Century 21s too. And you take those classes in our university. So if you want to find out about those, it's on 21 online, and go into our university, and also the realtor.org for the realtor designations on those too.
Your local board also sometimes has designation classes, so watch those too. You get the newsletters in your email, just flip it open and see what's going on now.
Exactly. All
You
right.
never know.
Number 5.
Tap into your networks. We talked about that a little bit already, going to different organizations and groups and clubs, because that's how you're going to figure it out. But, if you want to be like the other person that I said that wants to cater to seniors, we have one agent who caters to seniors, and she hooked up with a probate lawyer, because they're talking to each other to try and help each other out, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you hook up with a senior living association thing, or maybe you hook up with a knitting class or something like that. All kinds of different ways. Just use your imagination to go out and meet people and talk about real estate. It's kind of where it's at.
Yeah, the one thing that always worked for me is when my sons are in college and almost out of college already, but when they were younger, I always used to help coach their teams. I would say help. I was never head coach, just too much time commitment and couldn't do that. I was always help the coach, like assistant coach or assistant of assistant to be around. So in front of the parents. And also I always took on the notifying the parents of making sure who's coming to practice, who's not coming to practice, what's happening and being available that because I will always use my email, work email, and I always use my text. Every year I would get 2 or 3 sales every year for helping coach my kids' teams because the parents would see my signature in my text messages of updating them. I would go above and beyond and just, because I know I'm subliminally putting my, text in there, just saying, hey, just wanted to let you know your son did great today, this or that, or maybe work on this or remember practice. I'd be the most reaching out all of the time, more than any other coach or help coach in there, because I know that we would talk about these things. It would just subliminally put that advertisement there, and also spending time with my kids and helping them out. So it was putting that there too, and I always worked. So I was getting involved in the group of coaching
Yes.
and all of that. So, all right. And education opportunities, go through those, Deb.
I don't have anything for Mike Ferrante coming up yet, but I'm sure he'll give it to us soon. So I have a couple of Hush's classes on here. The bankruptcy one, always good. The stopping problems before they become problems, that's a new class for Hush. So I don't know what that one's about. I'm anxious to find out. And then also I have the thing about Moxie Works because we still have a lot of people who have not had the time to get in there. So there's your little reminder about that. It is a really great thing that we have here at Homestar, and your business builder and your Zap no longer work. They're only read only as of December 31st. So if you were using those to send out campaigns, you need to get into Moxie and get everything switched over so you can get your campaigns back up and running.
Right. And I've been telling our agents, and I've been on a couple calls or texts every day, at least one a day, someone about Moxie Works in this. And I said, it's new for us too. And Deb, you're doing a great job. And you're the kind of the only one that in our office right now that knows it because it's so new, but you're gonna have to take some classes on 21 online. So I've been pushing it. I'm like, you're gonna have to do all that. And also, just like us in the office, we don't sell. We're licensed, but we don't sell anymore. So we, other than Debbie training you on doing this, not using it every day. So the best is the 21 online. Don't like some agents say, oh, you're kind of like, I don't feel like you're pushing me out. We're not pushing you out. We're trying to push you to the best information out there. So the classes and the things on 21 online, please go, learn and watch the videos and learn as much as you can. And Deb and I will help out as much as time, but I haven't had the time to learn it myself. So
Yeah, Moxie Works is not, it looks intimidating, but it's not.
right.
Okay. And the videos are short, little, this topic is maybe 3 minutes long, maybe 6 minutes long or whatever. And then at the end of it, it might be a total of an hour for Engage. I'm just being honest with you. It might be a total of an hour. I think it was only 45 minutes when I got done with the whole thing, but you understand it. And if you've used something like that before, it's going to click anyhow. They're all basically the same. They're just a little. It's just if you've never used anything like that. But once you watch the videos and everything, if you want more time with me, I can walk you through stuff as well. But like he said, we don't sell. So this is a new product for us. I'm not even using it. I'm just kind of playing around with it because we're not doing that anymore. So I encourage y'all to go and give me the feedback so that I can see how it actually works.
And how's tech support? Has they been just your experience? Because Century 21 Online has tech support that are there, almost 24/7. I don't know if they changed their hours. It used to be 24 hours during the week until 10 p.m. at night. Have you had any response for any agents asking for tech support? Not, I know you do for different things, but have any agents been using that hotline?
I've been trying to encourage people to use the Moxie tech support and the Century 21 tech support. Remember when you are in the Moxie Works, you have to contact them, their tech support, because 21 Online or Century 21 tech support is just going to refer you to them anyway, because they don't know either. Also, I just want to remind everyone that if you're looking at it and you're with Homestar, Moxie Works is not a new program, but it's new to Century 21 in a whole. And we have over 10,000 agents all over the world that have all been trying to roll out with Moxie Works, all relatively at the same time, all of last year. So it is a lot for them to take on. But I have total confidence that it's going to be a great program for everybody. I have had a couple things that I've contacted them for agents in general, and then other questions that I had, and they do reply, and they get back to you, and then they follow up and follow up and follow up, almost like, okay, I answered you last week. You don't have to keep asking me. So yes, they do reply and they do follow up to make sure that you're okay with whatever's happening.
Century 21 and our parent company called Anywhere, that owns Century 21, Coldwell Banker, ERA, Sotheby's, Better Homes and Gardens. They've spent multi, I don't even know, probably tens or, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars to get these tools. So they have an incentive to help try to get you to learn them, so you're using them.
Yeah, right.
So they're not there. This is not something that they're pushing you to use and doesn't cost them any money. They want you to use these. They paid for this. It's not like a separate company that say, hey, you should try to use this company. It doesn't cost them anything. They're just promoting it. This is something that's cost them money and they invested in for all of us. So they have an incentive to help us. So use their help. So
right.
So is this the tip for the year right now?
The tip for this week is stay in touch with your past clients by emailing them the closing statement that they had for their transaction from last year, so they can use it for their tax purposes. And a tip for all of you guys that don't get the closing statement, you should get a copy of it for your clients and review it with your clients before they're closing. So then
if you can, you could reach out to the title company because a lot of times they send it with the commission checks and we have a copy of it, but don't ask us, because I would say don't ask us for the close date if you didn't get it, because most of the time we don't get it from the title company either. So I say skip the step, go to the title company, say you're the realtor, or who can I get a copy of the closing statement so I could get it to my buyers so they have it for their tax purposes and or sellers. Buyers and or sellers. And some title companies, if you explain to them, I'm trying to skip you a step, because then they don't call you, because a lot of title companies at the beginning of the year by tax time, they're scrambling, so if I was a title company and agents called me, I'm like, give it to the agent to give to their buyer or seller, so they have less calls that we'll have come, tax time, when people are scrambling to show their proceeds of their house or something like that. So
and it's just another way for your people to see that you really care, because you're reaching out to them again, and they will remember that.
Exactly. Is that it for today, Deb? I think that's
it for today.
Well, thank you. So again, guys, reach out to either one of us. We're happy to help you in any way. We appreciate you watching our videos, and we try to give you a brief overview, but definitely this topic, Deb, I think you would agree, is that it's specific per agent, because that's why we gave you general ideas, but I have agents that get involved in their niches, their pets and or homeless shelters, or they meet people there and they volunteer in places and get their name out there. So it's okay to ask when you're volunteering or getting involved in groups and asking for business and marketing yourself to do these things. And I would say get involved in the things that you're passionate about, like you mentioned, because then you'll continue doing it.
True. That's very true. And if you want to brainstorm, just give me a call and we'll set up some time.
That's great. All right. Thanks, Deb. And thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.